Christians, and my brother William here. You say after Armageddon, Satan and his demons will be imprisoned in the abyss for 1,000 years. So let's make sure we understand the timeline. Christ, when he came to earth, he came to engage in his battle against Satan, sin, and death. Jesus Christ died at Calvary. He was put on that cross by Satan's efforts, although overwritten by God. And Jesus was dealt the death blow by Satan, and when he died. But the victory that Christ obtained over Satan took place when he resurrected. And therefore, Jesus put down all principalities and power and assumed his throne at the right hand of God, where he now rules and reigns as King Supreme. Armageddon will take place at the end of the world when Christ returns at his next and only and last coming, which is when we will all be raised from the dead at his appearing, which is his coming. People try to make this distinction about his feet not touching the ground and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. There aren't two comings. His coming isn't divided up into two. Jesus is coming one time. It's the last time. And all these events happen simultaneously. Christ and his demons are imprisoned right now. But what you need to understand is their imprisonment has nothing to do with their not having activity. And this is what needs to be understood when we're talking about spiritual beings. Satan is bound right now for 1,000 years. He is bound right this moment. That's the reason that all of us, of all these other nations, all these Gentile nations, this is why we can believe the gospel, because he has been bound by Christ when Christ came here and began his ministry. Read Matthew 12, verses 25 through 29. Read John 12, verse 31. Read 1 John 3, verse 8. Jesus has taken care of Satan. He can no longer do any harm in terms of preventing salvation, but Christ will loose him out at the end of the era, whenever that is. And at that time, shortly after, Christ will destroy him with the brightness of his coming.